Okay, so for today's tutorial, we'll be creating an animation of a channel protein that's moving around in a membrane. So first, I'm going to download the protein, which is, so we're in the ProteinBlender tab here, is aquaporin. So I'm using one FQY. I'm going to download that. You can see aquaporin there in the middle. And I'm going to make sure we're on shaded mode here so I can see the colors. And then we're going to scroll down and you can see this option under Builder for Create New Membrane. So I'm going to click on that. And I'm going to go through some of these options later, but for now I'm just going to press OK. And what you can see is we've created this membrane now that is small, kind of like plane. So in order to edit this membrane, we can go up here to the outliner and press this little pencil button. You can change the size, although I'm happy with this. The bigger it gets a little bit slower, so we're just going to keep it a little bit small. You can change the colors here, so I can change this to yellow, for example. And we can also change the different types of representations here. I'm going to keep it on surface. And we have an option to make it dynamic, so we can animate this bobbing feature. I'm going to decrease this just a little bit. Press OK. And now if we play here, you can see our membranes kind of bobbing around, which looks really nice. Okay, so say, we want this membrane to be not completely flat. We can also deform it a little bit using this deformation option here. You can say edit that. And what you can see is there's points now on this lattice that's around your membrane. So if, for example, I wanted to make it so that this side of the membrane, maybe we want it to go up, I'm selecting these points and then I'm going to move them maybe either down or up. Maybe these guys over here as well on this side. So just don't have a totally flat membrane. And there we go. And we can play that through. That looks really nice. And one thing, maybe we want to, so if I select my protein here, can see that it's got lipids going right through it, which isn't something maybe we want. To better be able to see the pore, I'm going to change this representation to ribbon. And we're going to change it to blue. It's an aquaporin. And another interesting kind of fun option that we have for these membranes is that we can make a hole in them, which is great for these tiny kind of proteins like this. So here I'm going to add a hole. You can see the hole is relatively big. We might want to make that a little bit smaller. So I'm going to make this radius a little smaller, better match the size of our aquaporin there. Now you can see that looks really nice. We can, and we can also, if we wanted to animate the movement of this protein, we could also animate the movement of that pore. And so to do that, what I might do here is I'll select this protein and I'm going to make a puppet out of it. So anything, if we want to animate a protein, I'm going to have to create a puppet here, and we'll just call this puppet aquaporin. And that way we can create keyframes on it. So maybe we'll start with our aquaporin. We'll have it start out maybe over here on the left side, or maybe behind something like here. And we'll create a keyframe. This is at frame 1, so we're just going to do it on the aquaporin for now. Okay, and then I'm going to go somewhere later, maybe 120. We're going to animate this aquaporin moving along the membrane here. So we'll create another keyframe, just our aquaporin, and you can see we've animated that moving. And now we also have to animate the hole in the membrane so it goes along with it. So you can select that hole, and on frame 1, so the same frame as we have the other keyframe, we're going to move our hole so it's around the aquaporin, and we're going to create this keyframe. And this time we're just going to keyframe the membrane, say OK. And on frame 120 over here, we'll move this hole. You could have also done this together, but I just did it separately. And we can create this keyframe here. So we can edit this keyframe, we can include the membrane. And now you can see that we have this nice animation of this aquaporin protein that's moving inside a membrane in this kind of curved membrane.